You are 24 years old in the Roman Colosseum. When the noise hits you like a physical, dust and sand swirl around your legs as you squint against the blinding midday sun. Trying to find your breath, you look down at your hand. They are gripping the heavy sword, shaking uncontrollably, not from cold, but from a. You look up at the Emperor's box, a distant patch of purple and gold. Realizing your life depends on. The crowd is a blur of screaming faces, all demanding blood, and to them, you are not a human, just across the sand. A massive gate opens, and the dark shape of your opponent steps out into the ... You realize this is the moment you might die, miles from home, for the entertainment of strangers. But this is not where your pain began. The chains were forged long before you picked up a sword. It began 16 years ago, in a place that still smelled like rain and freedom. You are 8 years old, running through a field with a wooden stick, pretending to be a warrior, laughing with your mother calls you in for dinner. And the house is simple, made of wood and mud. But it is your ... You eat by the fire, listening to your father tell stories of the tribe's heroes. You sleep on a fur rug, dreaming of hunting in the forest. You wake up to the sound of screaming and the smell of burning thatch. Roman soldiers in red tunics and iron armor swarm the village, torches in hand. You try to run, but a heavy barrier forces you to stop. Suddenly, the world spins. You watch from the dirt as soldiers capture your father and take him away. A soldier forcefully guides you into a line of other sorrowful children. You are compelled to journey for weeks, without protective footwear, traveling in a long line with strangers. You beg for water, but a guard just kicks dust in your. You arrive in a historical city, a place of stone and noise, and are guided onto a wooden platform. Rich men poke your arms and check your teeth. Like you are a whore, the figure acquires you for a few tokens, looking at you with cold calculation. You are dragged to the Ludus, a fortress with high walls and barred windows. The courtyard is filled with sweating, grunting giants hitting wooden posts. The doctor walks the line of new recruits, his whip dragging in the sand. The doctor disciplines a boy who speaks out of turn, and you learn instantly that silence is survival. You are thrown into a tiny stone cell, barely wide enough to lie down in. You curl up in the straw, crying silently so the guards don't hear you. Years pass in a blur of chores. You carry heavy water buckets until your hands bleed. You watch the gladiators train, memorizing their moves while you scrub the floor. The Lanista points at you. You have grown tall enough to be worth training. Your hair is cut short, and you are given a rough tunic and a wooden sword. I pledge to be burned, to be bound. You are forced to take the oath. I pledge to be burned, to be bound, to be beaten, and to be killed by the ... You realize you have just legally signed away. Your human training begins. It is brutal, repetitive, and exhausting. The doctor hits your legs with a stick every time. Your stance. You sit, exhausted, over a bowl of barley gruel next to another. He cracks a joke about the food. And for the first time in years, you smile. You whisper across the cell bars at night, sharing dreams of winning, the wooden sword and your freedom. The training intensifies. You are now sparring with real weight. Though the weapons are blunt, you manage to disarm your friend. The doctor nods, a rare sign of approval. From a balcony, the Lannister watches you spar, calculating your potential return on investment. Your first fight takes place in a small, wooden arena in a provincial town. The crowd is small but loud. Your opponent is terrified, and you knock him down. The editor calls for mercy, and you feel a rush of relief. You return to the Ludus with a few coins, which the Lannister immediately confiscates. You visit the infirmary, Gladiators scream, as doctors pour vinegar into deep cuts. You see a veteran dying of infection, realizing this is the most likely end for you. Your body hardens, you are muscular, scarred and dangerous. New recruits look at you with fear. Then you are no longer the victim. You are part of the machine. You are paraded through the market. Women stare at you, men bet on you. A wealthy woman touches your arm, and you are a sex symbol ... but you can't say no. Back in the cell, the glory fades instantly. You are locked in like a dog. The fights get harder. You face a Murmillo with heavy armor. Instinct takes over. You sweep his leg and hold your blade to his throat. The crowd screams, "Kill," as you look to the editor for the verdict. The thumb. You wash the blood off your hands, staring blankly at the red water. Your friend sits with you, offering silent support. He understands the cost. The Lannister discusses your career with a rich sponsor. They talk about you like a racehorse. You realize that the better you fight, the more valuable you are, and the less likely they are to free you. You throw yourself into training, becoming a perfect killing machine to numb the feelings. A chaotic group fight, 10 men against 10. You and your friend fight back to back. A seamless unit of destruction. You are the last one standing. The crowd loves the brothers of the sword. Ha ha ha. At night, the sponsor hosts a banquet, and you are displayed to guests while still in chains. Here, take some grapes. You fight. Rich spectators offer you wine and food, treating you like a dangerous pet. You see the gluttony and waste, hating them more than the men you kill. Ha ha. A herald arrives with a notice. The emperor announces massive games in Rome. The atmosphere changes. Everyone knows many will not return from Rome. You are loaded into cramped wagons for the journey to the capital. You see the Colosseum for the first time. It is a mountain of stone, terrifying and magnificent. You are moved to the great school near the Colosseum. The cells are better, but the guards are. The day of the games arrives. The noise of the crowd is audible, even underground. You walk through the hypogeum, a maze of pulleys, cages, and elevators beneath the arena floor. The air smells of wild animals, fear, and old blood. You step onto a wooden elevator platform. Ropes tighten, and you begin to rise. Darkness turns to blinding white light. As you breach the surface, the wall of noise hits you. 50,000 people screaming is a sound like no other. The Lannister waves from a safe box. You are just his poker chip. The fight begins. You face a famous champion, a giant with a trident. He is faster than you expected. His net tangles your shield. You lose your balance and fall. The crowd gasps. He misses his thrust by an inch, and you roll and stab upward. The giant falls. The crowd erupts, chanting your stage name. You stand over him, chest heaving, drunk on the adrenaline and the roar. Back underground, the adrenaline crashes. You shake violently. You see bodies being dragged away by slaves, dressed as Karen. That night, you are feasted as a hero, but you can't eat. Listen to me. Are you ... Your friend warns you not to get cocky. The crowd is fickle. Time blurs. Fight after fight. City after city. Your body becomes a map of scars. Every meal you eat is bought with blood. You start helping train the new kids, seeing your younger self in their terrified eyes. You tell them the truth. There is no glory, only survival. The Lannister refuses an offer to buy your freedom. From a fan, you are too profitable. You pace your cell, realizing you are a prisoner of your own success. The Emperor announces a special spectacle to distract from a famine. You and your friend are both dressed in elaborate costumes, and something feels wrong. You enter the arena together, expecting to fight as a team, like you always do. The herald announces the event. Brother versus brother, only one survives. You look at your friend, his face drains of color, as the gate locks behind you. You both hesitate, dropping your weapons, refusing to play their game. Archers on the walls aim at you. The message is clear: fight, or you both die by arrows. Your friend lunges at you, whispering, "Make it quick, so you don't have to choose." You parry and block, tears mixing with the sweat on your face. It is the hardest fight of your life. Not physically, but because every strike breaks your heart. He feints and leaves himself open on purpose. Your sword pierces his chest. He collapses into your arms. You hold him as he dies in the sand, the crowd roaring in delight. For a moment, the sound of the crowd fades out. You are utterly alone. You look up at the cheering faces, seeing them now as demons. You raise your sword, not in victory, but in accusation, but they just cheer louder. You walk back into the darkness, leaving your heart in the sand. You sit in your cell, staring at the empty spot where your friend used to sleep. You become cold, efficient, and silent. The light in your eyes is gone. You kill without hesitation, now just a machine fulfilling a contract. The Lanista makes a fortune on your tragic hero persona. You see a clay figurine of yourself for sale in a shop. You are a toy. A fan buys you a drink, asking about the thrill of the kill. You want to strangle him. Your joints ache constantly. You are old for a gladiator. You notice you are half a second slower in sparring. And the new recruits are faster. The lanista notices too. He starts matching you against younger, hungrier fighters. Every fight is now a desperate struggle to survive. You take a bad cut to the leg that doesn't heal right. The doctor shrugs. There is no medicine for being ... You dream of the village field and your father. A life that feels like a myth. You hear rumors of a rebellion. But you are too tired to care. The Lannister books you for a prime spot against the... You see the young opponent. He looks like you did 10 years ago. You step onto the sand, the roar familiar and hateful. The fight starts. He is fast, dancing around your stiff leg. He lands a blow to your shoulder. Your shield arm goes numb. You stumble and fall onto your back, weapon lost. You look up at the sky, ignoring the looming figure of your... He looks to the crowd, waiting for the verdict. Kill him. No ... Thousands of thumbs point down. They are bored of you. You don't beg. You open your arms, exposing your neck. You feel a strange sense of relief. The show is finally over. The blade comes down. The noise of the crowd cuts to silence. The sun sets over the empty arena. The sand rakes smooth again. Your body is dragged to the spoliarium to be stripped of. The Lannister counts the coins from your final defeat. You are thrown into a mass grave, with criminals and animals. Centuries later, tourists walk through the ruins of the Colosseum, taking selfies. They admire the stone, not knowing it is built on bones like yours. The arena is gone, but the system of using people for entertainment remains. Your life was a spectacle, but your pain was real. Somewhere else, another child is born into a cage, and the crowd is still waiting.